Welcome to the What's the Damage Podcast with your host, Leo Van Damage. And we're live. All right. Hi. Welcome again to What's the Damage Podcast. I'm Leo Van Damage, and I am with the lovely Kadie Dowen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. You giving me a little bit of time today? Out your busy schedule and your day off to come down and have a quick chat with me. Basically, the reason I've got you down, what spurred me to want to do a podcast with you, some people follow my my Facebook page, or anywhere really, or the actual What's the Damage Podcast Facebook page. I found a dog the other day.
You did indeed.
Yeah. I was just driving around and this dog, she almost got hit by a car, and I thought, oh right, okay, so I picked her up and I put her in my car, and you were my first port of call, because where do you work?
Veterinary practice.
And what do you do?
I'm a veterinary nurse.
Yeah, cool. So I sort of came straight to Kadie, and that's sort of the idea. I've known you for quite a long time,
Yep.
So I thought we would. I thought at some point we should sit down and talk about. Can I just ask you just real quick? So just a brief little background. What is it you do at work specifically? Let's say for the people that don't actually know.
Yeah. So veterinary nurses do everything the vets don't do. So the vet's job is to consult, see the patients, diagnose the patients, and create a plan.
You mean you mean like animals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the animals. Yeah. And it's my job to implement the plan. So
Okay.
whether that's giving medication, physiotherapy, just a bit of TLC. We run the hospital in the fact that every 2 hours we're doing the patient checks, walking them, checking them, administering the treatment, doing the anaesthetics. So a real range of things that we do.
Do they put dogs down where you work?
We do, yeah.
That's some deep shit.
It's pretty deep, yeah.
Yeah.
I spent the first 6 months crying.
Really?
But you get used to it. It's I think it's a bit of a blessing, the state we see some of the patients in. It's
Okay.
the kindest thing we can do for them, and I feel it's an honour really to be able to be there and help them to pass away as peacefully as possible.
Because when I was with you there, I didn't know this, but apparently, so that dog that I found, and by the way, that bitch never fucking called me. Did you give her my number?
I did give you a number,
Fucking
yeah.
whore bag. She never called me to say, hey, thanks for finding my
I
fucking
asked
dog.
her, I said, did you want his number? Yes, please. So I gave it, and
I hope you're listening.
a little bit rude.
Oh, you can't tell me her name, obviously.
I can't tell you her name, but the dog's called Sammy. So
Yeah, Sammy the lost dog, yeah.
Sammy, if you're listening, we
Yeah,
love you.
exactly, yeah. You know, she probably only lives around the corner from me too.
Probably.
That's really sad.
It is.
I can't see that. I'll probably catch her in the park or something. But yeah, that bitch never called me. I was pissed. But yeah, so you let me into a little bit of information, which was so if I had that dog and I was looking after that dog for the day, for example, and then you somehow managed to find the owner, but the owner never picked that dog up, it goes to the dog warden.
Yeah.
What's that?
So some councils, not all councils, but some of them have a dog warden. So if we've got lost dogs, that person will come and collect them and hold them for 7 days.
Okay.
Unfortunately, after those 7 days, they can't hold them for any longer. So if there's no space,
Say that for people who tell the truth now. What do you mean they can't hold them any longer? What do they do?
if the kennels are full,
Uh-huh.
they will take them to Battersea, and if they have no space, unfortunately, they do get put to sleep.
So they just throw them into a fire or something, like just take like a big like a trowel and just go ow, 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 and just throw them into the fucking fire. That's
Fire full of dogs, that's a bit deep.
does that happen? No, is that a real thing?
Well, not when they're alive.
No, but like unclaimed dogs, they just
They
kill
put them
them.
to sleep.
That's
yeah.
fucked up.
There's no space for them. I
You
think the
told me that,
statistic-
and I had the dog, and I was just like, that's
Yeah.
not happening to Sammy.
the
Like she was my best
statistic
friend for that day.
Apparently, is for every puppy that is bought from a breeder, 18 rescue dogs will lose their life
Fuck.
because they've lost that opportunity to be seen. That's another family and eyes that have not gone to that rehoming centre. Rehoming centres have puppies. They have loads of puppies, and they have pedigree puppies. They're not all mongrels.
Yeah, because I've been to like that. So rehoming centers are like the Dogs Trust and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Dogs Trust now are actually working with the Border Control and are rescuing puppies that have been brought into the country illegally. So these are pedigree puppies, like, you know, Dachshunds and Pugs and, you know, anything you want you can get in Europe, and they bring them over here illegally. And so rather than destroying them, the Dogs Trust are taking them in. So loads of
use
puppies.
These words like destroy, eliminate. It's like they're very separating from.
Otherwise, I just cry all the time.
Because I want to cry hearing that. It's
I
horrible.
couldn't do that job personally. I couldn't be that person to do that job. It takes a certain person that can say, "Yep, there's this puppy." And
do they like inject it, or do they just straight up like throw a bunch of dogs, gas chamber it?
Oh my god, that's
like
awful.
Hitler.
No,
I don't
Leo.
know.
Oh my god,
I don't know.
That's completely barbaric. No,
I thought maybe like that would be the not like, well, humane. It is humane because they just kind of go to sleep, right? No, I'm not talking like Auschwitz stuff. Well, maybe I am.
Hell. Oh my god, no.
You want to leave the podcast now, eh?
Podcast out. It's a catheter in the vein, and then you just inject them straight into the vein, and it's an overdose of anaesthetic. 20
and
seconds.
they just fall asleep.
Yeah, 20 seconds and it's done.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
And you've seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, does that not fuck with you?
The ability to take life so easily, yeah, it's a big responsibility. It's not for the faint-hearted, and a lot of owners are shocked about the speed of the process, about how quickly they pass, and then they're really happy because they haven't suffered, they haven't been kicking and, you know, crying and screaming. It's been really peaceful and it's been over really quickly.
Is there a time when it goes wrong?
Absolutely, yeah.
May I have an example? Just for my sick morbid curiosity.
Yeah, we had a dog that just didn't want to die. This poor thing. He didn't want to die.
Why were you putting the dog down in the first place if you didn't want to die?
He was really old. He had really bad quality of life. He was really sick. He had a number of illnesses.
But he was stubborn as shit. So he's like, I'm not going down.
Yeah, it was a collie mix, and he was in the garden when we got to this owner's house.
Oh, you did that shit at home?
Yeah,
like
we
could
go to their house if needed. Yeah, and the owner had said no, he's been off his back legs. He can't walk while he was running around the garden when he realised we were there. It had to be done, and we put the catheter in his leg, and as we were injecting him, he bit me. He bit me because he didn't.
At that point, you're like, well, fucking, you deserve this shit.
I know. Do you know what? Sometimes there is a little bit when they've been particularly stubborn or they're not cooperating. You're like, right, you know, I'm gonna use.
You have to die now. Deal with it.
This is the situation. This is what I'm here for.
Don't work in a vet's office, people, because apparently people are there are monsters.
We're lovely. We're lovely. But no, thankfully, once the injection had been given, it was all very peaceful. He passed very peacefully, and we were able to help the owner with the body.
It's like, go to sleep. Just let it happen. Just go to sleep. Don't fight
enjoy it.
Don't fight it. Just go to sleep.
Absolutely.
So what happens to the body afterwards? I mean, like, so let's say I take my dog to you. My dog's like stubborn and he doesn't want to die, but he dies because if he's anything like me, like, obviously it's really sad, but yeah, then what happens? What do you do with it? Because I had a dog put down when I was a kid, but I don't remember what happened afterwards. Like, I just kind of like, oh,
again, most people don't know, and until you have to think about these things, you just don't know what the options are.
They cremate it like a human body?
Absolutely. So you can bury them. It's a bit different to people. I think there are a lot less rules. As long as you ask permission from the landowner, you can bury your pet, except for horses. I don't think you're allowed to bury horses, but you have to dig a deep hole at least 6 foot.
Yeah, to stop other animals getting to it.
Yeah, and they have to be in something that's biodegradable, because if you get heavy rain, then they will rise.
Like a bag?
Yeah.
So you can't do a plastic bag?
No, it'd have to be cardboard or something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because all of our coffins here are biodegradable. I learned this by speaking to a grave digger. Funnily enough, because in America they don't. In America they have those solid oak things.
Which is why they rise as soon as the ground's flood.
Yeah. Oh, makes it easier for the zombie apocalypse, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Bodies running around everywhere.
Yeah.
Floating down the river in their casket, waving.
So you get rid of the. So you either bury it or you burn it.
Yeah. So cremation, you can have the ashes back or not have them back.
And do they do like any like aftercare for the patient? Like not for the pet, not for the animal, but obviously the animal's ghost now. But like the actual person whose dog he is, like.
We don't.
Or do you just come in, like, kill the dog and then piece the fuck out?
No, God no. I like to send a sympathy card to every single one of mine.
You send a sympathy card?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some deep shit.
Absolutely.
This is why you're like amazing. Because why you're a badass. Because like you would do that. You don't have to do that, right?
No, I don't have to do that. No, I like to do that. I think a lot of people, their pets are their family, and for lots of people who don't have pets, have never understood that. So they're like, oh yeah, my dog died. Oh yeah, sorry to hear that. So I went and did this today. They don't understand the magnitude of that person's loss. They have lost the equivalent of like their child or their brother or their sister. They love them to the same degree.
Yeah, I know some folks who treat their animals like like family.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, no one else understands that loss, and they will not be comforted by anybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of my responsibility. It's not a case of come in, I'll put your animal to sleep and get out my building. It's a case of I am here for you if you want to come. And I say to everybody, whether I've met them that day, because sometimes we only meet them when we do the euthanasia, we don't meet them at any other time. And I do say to them, if you want to pop back in for a cup of tea, sit down, have a chat, if you're passing by, you're always welcome to. No one really takes us up on it.
Why would they? You guys are super fucking busy. I know, I was there the other day.
Absolutely. But I want people to feel like they have somewhere to go if they do need to talk about it, and they have nowhere else to go. Because I would never want anyone to feel just abandoned. Like, you know, we've experienced that loss with them, and you get attached to every patient, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard letting them go, and I'm not even their owner sometimes. You know, sometimes we see them weekly for treatments, you know, if they're particularly sick. Like some of my chemotherapy patients, we see them every week. And then I see some once in a blue moon, but I still care, and I still want them to have dignity, and I still want them to be comfortable when they pass and be as peaceful as possible. Yeah. Which is what we could ask for ourselves, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, some of us will go out screaming, like me.
Kicking and screaming.
On fire.
Yeah.
In a blaze of glory.
Fuck you all.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure I'll be throwing some middle fingers up as I fly
Absolutely.
out some sort of window, some explosion or some shit. You'll go nicely.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't know. There might be a few people I've pissed off come to get me, so you don't know.
No, I don't. Maybe a few ghost dogs.
Do you know what? I do think that they're all going to be waiting for me.
What, they're just going to be sitting there like a ruff? Like what, Scooby-Doo voices?
Like, just, you fucking killed me.
Just looking at you, Reedy, you tried to kill me.
No, I did kill you.
Oh, right, even worse. See? There you go. Fucking hell. So, alright, so let's say that dog, that dog went back to its owner.
Yeah.
That dog escaped
Yes.
from its house, right?
Yes.
Under dubious circumstances that we're told. What happens then? Do you like report that shit, or do you not report that shit?
There's no one to report it to.
Like RSPCA, don't give a fuck.
No, I'm not a huge fan of that charity.
Oh, so they're not like an authority.
They have authority to prosecute in cruelty cases.
Because
So
I've
are
seen like
useful
on
for some
TV,
things.
like they have like, it's like cops, but for RSPCA people.
Yeah,
like,
they do, yeah.
Yeah, they follow them around and
inspectors
shit.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, so the inspectors have authority to create a case, and the RSPCA can then prosecute that person with the backing of the police. But they do have to get a lot of evidence together. We've been part of a couple of cases.
Well, you give like medical evidence.
Yes, yeah. For certain things, you have to have a vet sign off and say, yes, medically, this animal is suffering from neglect or abuse or whatever it is. And so, yeah, we get called out for some of those. They tend to do wildlife, but only in terms of like large wildlife, like deer and things like that. Every officer is trained to kill a deer. Part of their training, they have to shoot.
Like Bambi.
Yeah, like Bambi. Yeah, because a lot of like, especially in the countryside.
Whoa, hold on. You mean trained to kill a deer, like with a shotgun?
I don't think it's
Like
a
a
shotgun.
rifle?
It's more of a handgun. That they carry them. They obviously have to have a license for them, but the point of it is.
I'm curious about the legalities of that, because handguns are illegal in this country, I think.
They've got something.
Okay.
And I have been told this because I had a conversation with an officer, and I was like, I wanted to know. I was curious about their training, and she said that they all have to learn to use a gun to kill an animal at point blank range.
Right.
Because if you have a deer, for example, that's caught in a fence or it's been hit by a car, they are never going to cope with being hospitalised and trying to be treated. You're going to kill them through stress more than anything else.
Yeah, you just got to put them out.
So they won't get a vet out. They have to kill them at the roadside.
I think some crazy statistic, like I think like 45 people a year get, like up north or whatever, get killed by deer alone, like hitting their car. Yeah. Because you imagine, like, those things are huge. I don't know if you've ever seen one in real
really
life.
Powerful,
like a full-grown deer, they'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
They get mad, they'll fuck you up. So you hit them with a car full force.
And they come through your windscreen.
You're going down, it's game over, yeah. So, yeah, I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's some sort of statistic, like, 45 people a year get killed.
I don't know it, but I can imagine that happens, yeah.
That's got to suck, though, isn't it? Like, if you're going to go.
It's not the best way.
No. So, yeah, so you deal with, like, all kinds of animals? Or is it just, like, domesticated animals?
We're a small animal clinic. So we deal with small mammals, cats, dogs, hamsters, rabbits, gerbils, guinea pigs, all that kind of stuff.
Lizards and shit?
We do lizards if necessary. It's vet specific, so my vet is happy to see some lizards. She also sees birds. We see wildlife. We won't ever turn any wildlife away. And we treat them for free.
What? Just the wildlife?
Yeah, the wildlife we will treat for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's our
when you mean like wildlife, so if, like, say for example I hit a squirrel with my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could bring that squirrel in.
Yeah, I've handled baby squirrels before.
Baby squirrels?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
They must be really cute.
Yeah, until they get to like adolescence,
and then they have furry rat tails,
jump and bite and
But you can. So can you domesticate some of these wild animals? Like, what's the legalities around that shit?
Not.
So I could have a pet squirrel.
Right, so legally, you're not allowed to release them back into the wild.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna put myself on blast here. Like,
okay.
I used to have a bird.
Yeah.
And that bird killed another one of my birds.
Okay.
So I was like, "Fuck you, dude," and so I let him free. And I was like, "Do you want to go murder shit out in the wild?"
Okay.
I'm sure he lasted about 5 minutes until his ass got eaten by a crow or some shit. So that's illegal. But that happened. I mean, how old was I? Statute limitations on that must be maybe about 5 years. I don't know. I must have been about 17, 16, 17, something like that.
All coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never had to look into it. 9 times out of 10, birds just fly away when you don't even want them to. So I'm
sure
just
blag it. Well, I can't blag it now because I've just.
Well, you just kind of admitted it to the whole world, but I'm sure.
All 16 people that are listening to this episode, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yes, he's a bad person.
Yeah, horrible.
Legally, I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be something I'd have to look into. But birds can't be tied down. You know.
Yeah, it's a bird.
You
can't do that shit. Yeah.
So I'm sure there's probably not too many rules about it. And how do you prove that that bird's yours if you can catch it? And how do you catch
you got like a little tag, right?
Homing pigeons and other things like that. Yeah,
is that a thing?
Homing pigeons.
That's a thing, right? Okay. I thought I'd see that on Game of Thrones. I didn't know if that was a thing.
It's a thing. And
drug dealers must use them a lot, right? So they're gonna get caught. So the police don't track their phones.
What's this baggie attached to the pigeon? Oh God!
I find out how easy it is to become a drug dealer. Apparently.
What?
I bought a phone for £6 in Asda. Yeah, with a SIM card. Yeah,
That's a bargain.
A burner phone, and it's colour screen.
Oh!
It hasn't got a flashlight, but it's colour screen.
Burner phones are getting better. The technology's getting better.
Yeah, it's legit. It's like Alcatel or whatever the fucking.
That was my first phone. Was really? Alcatel. I was one of those really cool kids that wanted a Nokia and got given a fucking Alcatel that had an aerial. Yeah.
An aerial?
Yeah, it had like a.
I don't think I've seen an aerial on a phone since like Sony Ericsson.
You couldn't pull it out.
Oh, okay.
No. It was just a static, like 2 centimeters on top of the phone. Oh, it was awful. It was so tragic.
That sucks.
You know when your parents are like, I got you a phone, and you're like, what's this piece of shit?
I'm
already getting picked on, and now I'm going to get severely bullied.
Why are you getting picked on?
Oh, I wasn't the cool kid. I was the geeky kid that
None
wanted
of us
to learn.
were cool kids, man.
No, I was the geeky kid. I had no interest in fashion. And I went to a ghetto school.
What school did you go to?
I started off at Rooks Heath.
Oh, yeah, because you know Dave Baker.
I do.
Yeah, because he's like playing drums for somebody really famous at the moment. I'm going to get you on my show, David. I'm going to call you and I'm going to hook
He's playing bass.
Yeah, I can't remember what he's doing. I know his dad used to make guitars.
He still does make guitars, yeah.
Is his dad still around? I didn't know if his dad's still around.
Yeah. Dad's still making guitars.
His dad was cool, man.
He's very
He used to make guitars for a living, go around his house and because he played bass. Yeah, he played bass guitar. He was really big and he lost like super loads of weight.
He's doing really well.
He became like a really good looking male model kind of looking guy.
We're just kind of like bigging you up here a bit now, Dave.
Yeah, it's because I want you to come on my show.
We might as well just make a whole show about you.
Yeah, well, I think that's what we're going to do. That's my plan. I'm just going to get Dave down here. So I want to go back to the vet thing before we move on because I want to ask you like a million questions about this because I don't get because you're super busy all of the time and I run into you randomly in a tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And then we leave again. I think you were I wouldn't have got my first tattoo if it was for you.
I know.
You actually introduced me to Paul.
I did.
And he's done all of my tattoos. Now I'm covered. Yeah. And I remember going in and saying, I'm only going to get one.
Oh, I remember that day when you were so scared. And we went into the shop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And you were like, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
I was fresh as well, man. I was just 18 years old.
You were. Yeah, you were.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I'm just getting one. And I just want it this size. No, we'll go bigger. Oh, no. No, we're going bigger.
Next thing I know, both my legs, my chest, my arms. Yeah, fuck.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain. That's true. Yeah. Cool. So you got me on my first tattoo. We'll talk about that in a bit. But now the other thing I wanted to talk about was dog fighting.
Yeah.
You see that shit, right?
Not
the fighting.
Yeah.
But the injuries from it, right?
Do you know what? Working in and around Harrow and Kenton, I haven't seen a lot of it, thankfully. I'm really, really thankful. I have seen it in other branches, or like we've got a hospital in Hendon and we see things.
Oh, no fucking surprise there. NW9, right? What a shithole.
Well, just because it's the hospital, so if we hospitalise a patient, we won't leave it in the branch on its own overnight.
I like how you call them patients. You don't call them like patients. Just animals. Yeah,
they are my patients, and I kind of pride myself on making sure they have the best standard of care.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. That's fucking. I respect that. I do respect that. So fucked up dogs. Go.
Yeah. It's we've seen a range of things. Not necessarily dog fighting, as in like an organised fighting ring. More like dogs in the park attacking each other. We've seen, I think one really, really bad one was a tiny Pomeranian puppy that was attacked by a much larger dog. A tiny
Pomeranian puppy. So those dogs are small already.
Yeah. He was tiny, and the injuries were horrific. We had to shave the majority of the dog to try and assess the wounds, open him up. The muscle layers had all been torn to the point that when you open a dog's abdomen, obviously if you're looking into the abdomen you can see all the organs, and below the organs, if you move them out of the way, you'll see more muscle layer. That was completely gone, and we could see directly into the spinal column. We could see all the bones, we could see the vertebrae, we could see everything, and it had been completely shredded. So then
was it alive?
He was alive. In shock. No, he was in. We saved him. Yep, he was in shock. We rushed him into surgery. Managed to try and put all the pieces of the muscles back together. Assess all the damage.
And you saw that shit. You were there.
I did the anaesthetic for that. Yeah.
Fuck. Was there a lot of blood?
Not as much as I thought there would be, to be honest. In those situations, when your body goes into shock, all your blood rushes to your organs, so you don't always have a huge amount of blood loss initially. I think the worst bit was, and I can laugh about this, I don't know if everybody else is going to find this funny.
No, laugh. Fuck it. We're horrible here. Go ahead.
It's quite funny. So we'd opened up the abdomen to check all the organs and to try and repair all the muscle. And what we then did was fill the abdomen with fluid to see if there were any other leaks, any other holes in the skin, any other muscle tears. And it was kind of like a sieve.
That's fucking amazing.
It was just everywhere. Funny. I was like,
I just have the.
Yeah,
I remember,
we missed a few holes.
I remember, like, I think it's a Gremlins 2 or something like that. I think one of the Gremlins has like holes in his body, and he drinks water, and they all come out.
That was pretty much what it was like. Thankfully, the dog was under anaesthetic, and it was like, we've got a few more holes.
But did you laugh?
Yeah, we laughed.
Openly that.
Yeah, we laughed.
Well, I mean, that's not out of the normal though, because I know like police officers, doctors. Especially ER doctors, firefighters, they have like that dark humor to get through that horrible shit. Because it is, look, jokes aside, that's horrible shit. Seeing a dog torn up.
The pressure knowing that you've got an entire family sitting a room away waiting to know whether their baby's gonna live or not. Yeah, it's hard. I hate that. I've had that a couple of times, having to say to somebody, I'm really sorry they didn't make it, or an animal that's been hit by a car, or an animal that's been collapsed and found by somebody else, having to say to somebody on the phone, I'm really sorry, you don't know me and I'm calling you and I'm telling you this awful news. It's heartbreaking.
Jesus. So there's,
and that is part of my job.
but so luckily, to obviously touch wood, then we don't see a lot of kind of like animals, dogs specifically, because there is, like, we used to be, especially in the UK, like a really big dog fighting culture where people used to have like their staffs.
It's still there.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot more to combat it now, and I don't think it's as much of a sport, and I say that word loosely, as it used to be. You've got to invest a lot of time, and you have to have a lot of space. You have to be in an area where you own a lot of land and you're not going to get found out. You couldn't just have it in your regular suburban garden, because your neighbours are going to know about it and they're going to report you the minute you start doing anything. Yeah,
because it makes a lot of noise, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I've heard like foxes fighting, and that sounds...
Yeah.
You hear those motherfuckers howling real late at night.
Exactly. The biggest problem are just morons who buy a staffy and think that it's a trophy dog or a pit bull. It makes me angry, really, really angry, because people don't realise that they're giving the breed a bad name. I've got a staffy and he's the soppiest thing on four legs, but people will throw their children into bushes out of his way because they think he's going to attack them. And when he's been attacked in the park, he just rolls on his back and cries. He doesn't do anything, he doesn't retaliate, nothing. And the breed have got a really, really, really bad name because of the few people that roll around with these big chains and spiky collars, getting the dog to bark at everyone and attack everything. It's not funny. It's really stupid. And it makes my job a lot harder.
Do you get any unruly dogs that come in like that? So like
yes,
dogs
of
that
course.
just...
But I get attacked by more Jack Russells and Chihuahuas than I do anything else.
Yeah, what the fuck's that about, man? Because they're like these tiny little dogs with just such a big dog complex.
Yeah, small dog syndrome. So I get attacked by more small dogs than... Don't get me wrong, I do get attacked by other dogs. Staffies, shepherds, collies, Labradors. There's a whole range. It's not breed specific, any breed, but it's down to the owner.
What kicks them off? Yeah, so I was gonna say, what kicks them off?
The owner not understanding their behaviour or how to manage the behaviour, fear, aggression 9 times out of 10, and also if they've been to a vet before who hasn't taken the time to work with them to understand, they're scared. I've had a couple of patients come to us because they've been banned from other vets because their dogs have been aggressive. There's different reasons for being aggressive. Are you fearful of something? Are you trying to tell me that you're scared? Cool, I respect that, and I'm only going to do what is within your capability of acceptance. So I'm not going to push a dog to do something it doesn't want to do. I'm not going to pin it to the floor and traumatize it, and a lot of vets will do that, and that's not what I'm about.
Can you not can you just knock them out?
It depends on what they need, because it's expensive.
Right.
Obviously it has a knock-on effect for their body. And how am I going to get close to it to knock it out?
Yeah, true.
That's the other thing. So I would rather have that dog come in for happy visits 10 times before I even touch it. And my vet, I'm very lucky, my vet is the same.
What's a happy visit?
Come in, have some cuddles, have a treat. I'll just talk to your owner and then you leave again. So you get a positive association of being there, because a lot of them walk through the door and it's like, oh my god, it's the vets, and it's really traumatic. I want them to walk in and think, oh, it's a great place. I get cuddles, I get kisses, I get treats. It's like going to the
dentist, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for a human, when we go in,
absolutely.
It's horrible clerical environment, clinical environment. You don't want to be there. They don't want you there. It's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would rather take the time to get to know that patient and have them feel comfortable and have the owner feel comfortable, because that's half the problem as well.
Okay.
Rather than traumatize everyone.
Shit.
Because that's how you get bitten.
Yeah. Nah. See, I think it's a really hard job. I respect it, because I don't think I could do something like that. I don't think I could just put dogs down. I love dogs. I've had dogs before. I'm not allowed to have dogs here, but I love dogs, and it really upsets me. Like that dog the other day. I had no prejudice against that dog. I went up to that dog. She almost got hit by a car. I immediately started rubbing her stomach, picked her up, put it in my car.
Yeah.
And I just stopped and I was like, seeing if anybody wanted to claim this dog. I was like, who's this? Like, you know, because some people are idiots and they let if they haven't got a well-trained dog, they let them walk ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that's the case. The dog got excited and so I was standing around and nobody claimed that dog. And she was gone. But she was used as well. Like you could see she had been bred a few times.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot? Does it, like, people just use dogs for breeding, don't teach them anything, and then
I've had this lovely staffy that was brought in by two quite
by the way,
young
for
guys.
American listeners, the staffies, thought I'd just mention it if anybody from America is listening. Hopefully, Staffordshire pit bulls, which are like American pit bulls, but they don't lock their jaw or something, right? Is that right?
Well, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier is an English breed.
Bull Terrier, sorry. It's not pit bull, is it?
Staffordshire Bull Terrier, no.
Okay.
But there is a little bit of confusion. The Americans call a Staffordshire Bull Terrier a pit bull, and then they have the American pit bull, which is what we would just call a pit bull.
Okay, well, it's kind of like in China, you don't call it Chinese food, you call it food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so go on. So you were saying, so dog.
Yeah, no, these
beautiful
two
staffy.
young guys dropped this staffy off and said they'd found her in the park. I'm not stupid. I've been doing my job 8 years, and she is sitting there looking at them. She's idolizing this one man. You can see she adores him. Her harness fits perfectly. They just happen to have a dog lead on them, but they don't have a dog. It's just nothing adds up. Nothing. And
it's fucking these fools.
Yeah, it makes me so angry, really angry, and it's just a case of okay. So she would have to go with the dog warden, and we don't then know what happens to them.
So their intention was to what? Get rid of her?
Mm-hmm. They'd bred her, and they wanted to get rid of her. So I mean, rather than just letting her out into the street, they brought her to us, which was great. But what am I meant to do with this dog in a tiny building?
So they do that with the intention, knowing that she's gonna have to go to a home or gonna get killed.
I don't think they know. I think they just think that. Oh, they're, vets are suckers for animals, and one of them would take it home. Or I don't think that as long as they can get rid of it and the immediate problem of having that dog is gone, I don't think they care, or I don't think they think that far ahead. It's just a case of the problem's gone.
That's super frustrating to hear.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even me, who I don't have the responsibility. I don't have the available time to take on the responsibility of a dog at the moment. But even me, when I came home, I spoke to my girlfriend and I said, right, do you know how close we were to having a dog for the foreseeable future? Mm-hmm. We would have just worked around it. Because I wasn't going to let that happen. Like, when you told me, you saw my face, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. You're not going to kill this dog. Like, I'll take her home with me. I'll figure it out. It's fine. Yeah. And that really frustrates me. I think that's just probably just like a love of life, really, for animals. Like, I wouldn't... Maybe some animals can go fuck themselves. Don't get me wrong. There are like snakes and like black widows and shit. Like, you go fuck yourself.
Yeah, there are some of my patients that I think, oh my god, I couldn't have you in my house.
Yeah.
But
like a dog's is man's best friend. Like, I can even deal with some cats.
Yeah.
Even though cats, if a dog's man's best friend, cat is like man's complacent roommate. So they just sort of turn up. They're like, feed me, fuck you, see you later.
The grumpy asshole friend that just turns up, uses you for all your food and whatever else you've got, and then like buggers off and comes back when it suits them. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's so.
But we love them anyway.
You got cats, right?
I did have a cat before I had my dog. Yeah.
How many dogs you got?
I just got the one.
What? So it's a Staffordshire.
Yeah, cross.
Cross of what?
I think bulldog. I'm not sure. He's a rescue.
Bulldog.
Think so.
Like British bulldog, like the chubby, fat face.
Yeah.
So he's quite small and stocky.
He is small and stocky. Yeah.
Okay, right.
And super cute.
I love bulldogs. They're super expensive.
Yeah, well, mine's a rescue, so I got him from a shelter.
So he's free.
No, you still have to pay a rehoming fee of £200, or it's about £200.
Yeah.
But it goes towards like their vaccines and their neutering and things like that.
I was gonna get a Duke de Bordeaux, Duke de Bordeaux, from the Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
I really like those dogs.
They're really expensive.
I just don't think I can deal with saliva though that much.
Yeah.
They had like a 2-year-old at the Dogs Trust.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, yeah, this is gonna happen, but then it didn't happen because it was couldn't have him around young children. I have a son, so it just wasn't going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, so it's a real shame because he would probably sit on my kid and my kid would disappear inside that dog. He was huge.
You could ride him around the living room.
Rider, yeah. Probably ride him, but most likely he would just slobber over my son until there was nothing left of my son.
They're wicked dogs. They are really cool dogs.
They are really cool dogs, yeah. It's I really want one. I really want a dog personally, but it's just trying to find the time, responsibility for it. But like I said, I almost ended up with a dog that day. If that bit, yeah, fuck it, that bitch. I'm gonna say it. I questions like, should I call her a bitch? No, fuck it. You let your dog out. You're irresponsible. You're a bitch. I'm more annoyed that she didn't call me to say thank you, because that dog ruined my car.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like slobbered everywhere, scratched up my leather seats, and I was like, it's okay. And she was whimpering the whole way to you guys as well, and I felt so bad. I was like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna take you somewhere safe. I think I spoke nicer to that dog than I do to my kid.
That's normally the way. I've got no patience for children, none whatsoever, and especially when they come into the clinic and into the consult room and they're opening and closing the door, because we've got a door buzzer, so we know when people are coming in. They open it and they close it, and then they open it and they close it. And it's like, please don't open the door, you're going to get your fingers caught, then you're going to scream your head off, and then I'm going to have to sort it out. No, they carry on anyway. They take things off the wall, they rip down the displays that we've got, they colour on the walls.
Children are just drunk adults. Like,
oh my god, they're assholes. They're just miniature assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know, I have one. I bred one into the world.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everything's he's exactly as you'd expect him to be. He's as much of an asshole as you like. Most people who know me, you're like, yeah, Leo's alright, but he's a bit of a dick. And then if you've known me for a long time, you're like, he's a fucking huge dick. But I love him. He's a lovable.
And now
dick.
There's a mini.
There's a
dick.
mini version of that. Yeah, that you can't hit or swear at because he has like immunity for being a baby. He's 2 years old and he has this immunity. He'll look at you, smile when he does something wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't pick him up and shake him till he doesn't move anymore.
Little fucker.
Yeah, that's it. You're like, you fucking just look at. Oh man, the days of that. And because now he starts to copy when you speak. So if you say something, he'll be like, if you're like, oh shit, he goes shit, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh no, don't say that word.
Yeah, you're like, no, don't say that, and then he'll walk around and say, you fuck. Yeah. So you have to be so careful around these kids, man, because they'll just say whatever the fuck they want to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you plan on having kids?
One day.
Yeah.
One day. I don't know.
In what format? Because I know I'm going to ask you. I know you're like. I wanted to know how you feel about this whole gender thing that's going on at the moment. People saying, "Oh, I'm poly," or "I'm bi," or "I'm straight," or "I'm gay," because I've known you kind of switch sides.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh well, I wouldn't
you
say
float around like. I wouldn't say float around people, but you float around that like there is no real specific line.
No, there is no line. Some people have a line, and I don't have one at all.
You're happy to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I identify as being pansexual.
What's that mean?
For being pansexual means that you're not attracted to a person's gender. So when you're bisexual, you are attracted to male and female. For me, it's got nothing to do with gender. It's about the person, the connection I have with that person. Mm-hmm. I think a physical connection is important.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, for me, it doesn't matter what form your body comes in. If you're a good person and we happen to have an emotional connection, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
You know.
That's so. Have you always identified that way, or is it only recently it's now got a name?
It's recently. I didn't.
Like you knew what you were, but
yes,
you didn't.
I didn't know how to express it.
Yeah, there was no like name,
word,
no classification. You're like, oh, that's what I fucking am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember being about 12 or 13 and saying to my mum, you know, I was terrified, and I said to her, I think I'm bisexual, and she was like, okay. I was like, oh, okay. I was a bit of an anticlimax.
I never met your mum, by the way, but I can imagine she would have been a badass.
She was a badass.
Yeah.
She was indeed. And I was so scared of telling her, and she's like, right, and I was like, okay, right, okay. She's like, it is what it is.
This bitch is cool with it. Cool.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah, I expected it to be this really big thing. And she was like, as long as they're a good person, they work hard and they take care of you, that's it. That's all I ask for. And she didn't care. She made a joke out of it. She would say to me, I'm not bisexual, I'm just a bicycle.
Yeah.
Because I'll ride anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, thank you, Mum. Thank you very much. Yep. So I was very lucky, very, very lucky. And yeah, for a long time, I had that feeling of, well, yeah, whoever they are, if that's the person I'm meant to be with, that's who I'm meant to be with. And it's just been more recently, that it's kind of had a name. And Paul actually said to me recently,
Paul's our mutual tattoo artist.
He is tattooist friend. He said to me, do you not miss, I was in a relationship with a woman, as you know, and
I'm sure he said it in such an eloquent way. Let me guess how he said it, because I know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say. So Paul, if you're listening, I'm assuming it's something on the lines of, in Paul's manner, do you not miss a good old dicking? Something like that?
I think those are the words.
Yeah, there you go. I fucking knew it, that guy.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, do you not miss a bit of cock? And I said to him, and I remember when I stopped laughing, I said to him, do you know what? If the relationship's right and the connection is right, then I will always be satisfied. Because I think if you've got a good enough a connection with somebody and you're open enough about what it is you do want physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, then you will always be satisfied. And at that moment in time, I said, I was satisfied.
Do you not find it quite difficult? Something I've noticed about the before all these gender pronouns, I would say, these sexual pronouns came in, everybody, like, especially I would say the lesbian community and the gay community, not really the bisexual community because they kind of float between, or transsexual, I guess, but especially the lesbian community would very much, like, once you cross that line, if you then crossed back, they're very much, there was a lot of hostility there. Yeah. From what I mean, you tell me. You obviously you were in a relationship with I'm not going to mention her name, but I know her. She's a lovely girl. You were in a relationship with her for a long time. Yeah. And on and off, right?
We were together for a couple of months when I was 18, which she finished. She wasn't ready for it, and that was fine. We were best friends for 8 years, and then we were together for 2.
Yeah. So, but you lived together. Yeah. You lived together and stuff like that. Yeah. So if we had gone back maybe 10 years, that before these pronouns and people like finding out classifications on how they feel and all this stuff, which is fine. You know, I completely respect that. There would have been a bit more hostility, especially if I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me if you still sort of floated around, because it's a culture in itself, really, isn't it? Like the gay community, it's like there is a divide that exists. Yeah. You would have received a lot of hostility in that stage, right?
Even being and it was a case of, oh, you're bisexual, can't you make up your mind? Even within the gay community, man. Yeah, absolutely.
That shit would not fly now.
No, not at all.
Like 2016 now? No.
It depends on the person. It can still be a little bit cliquey, but within the gay community, the LGBTQ community, there is starting to be a lot more open-mindedness, understanding, and people willing to talk to each other and realising we're all in this together. You know, what's the point in hating each other? We might as well join forces for the greater good, kind of thing. But 10 years ago or so, it's like the lesbians hated anyone that, hated gay men hated lesbians. There was this whole idea that all lesbians were butch dykes and hated men, and
some of them don't help themselves. I'm going to be honest with you. There are some that, like, you're like, do you I don't know if you want to, what's going on here. Like you're like, you're not transsexual, but you're dressed up like a dude. Like, what's this about? And then they get really aggressive, and some of them I've been in situations with a few of them that get up in my face. And they say, because like I've dipped into that world. I've dipped into that lesbian world where I've converted a few. So it's like, oh, okay. Nothing to do with my sexual prowess, by the way, people, just saying. It was probably already in there, but whatever. And then I've had a few interactions with you lesbian. Like, me personally, if you got up in my face, I don't care who you are. Like, my mummy told me not to let people lay hands on me. So if I'm gonna be like, hey, you want to punch like a dude? I want to punch you back.
I don't know if it's an age thing. A lot of lesbians, and I don't mean this, because this obviously isn't for everybody. Just some, and I just remember from when. By the way,
fuck anybody who doesn't agree with this conversation. It's just our point of view, my point of view, and yours.
It's just from growing up in and around Harrow.
Which is
this idea. the angsty, angry lesbians were people who were not yet comfortable with themselves.
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
think that's an age thing. I think it's not having anyone to look up to and say that's who you are and that's wicked. Living in a time where their parents might not have been as accepting. So yeah, I think that didn't help the stereotype of lesbians all hate men. And if you're bisexual, you're on the fence, and why can't you choose a side? You know, you say you're bisexual but you're with a man, oh well, then you can't hang around with the lesbians. But if you're bisexual and you're with a girl, that's fine.
Yeah. We have a mutual friend called Charlie.
We do.
And I part of me like, I think it's really weird how it all went down, but I totally, like, I have a lot of respect for her, because she I'm not gonna say her last name, but she knows who she is. Basically, she's dating the boyfriend. I think she might be engaged soon. I'm not sure.
Engaged now. Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So she's with a gentleman, a suitor, who was the ex-boyfriend of a girl that she dated.
Yes.
So very incestuous kind of like triangle that went on
Yes.
there. But like, she still has loads of lesbian friends.
Yes.
She still goes to, I know she goes to Pride and stuff like
Yes.
that. I have a lot of respect for her, not just because she went through some deep shit as well that went down, but just because like she's such a charismatic person, from what I know anyway, from being around her. I'm not about you or anybody
She's
else.
lovely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and like she just really like kept together that really close group of friends.
Yeah.
And I think I would say like she was probably the crux of that, even though she's modest enough to say that she's not.
Yeah.
That I reckon she definitely was like the crux of kept people in, because that could have really split a lot of people up.
Yeah,
that entire
absolutely.
situation, and she didn't let it
Absolutely.
happen, which I was quite impressed about. So I have a lot of respect for that girl. But
I think for a long time she identified as a lesbian.
yeah,
growing
for sure.
up. And then she met her current fiance, and obviously that surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
But I think it's one thing to be surprised and be like, oh, I'm a bit shocked, you know, fair play. But I think we're in a time now, why do we have to put a name on everything? Why can't you just be, I just happen to be with this person, I don't know what I am, you know.
There's a
happens.
funny quote that I heard, and it was it's from a comedian, and he says when the terrorist bombs finally hit, we won't even notice, because we'll still be arguing about gender pronouns.
So true.
It's like, that's so fucking true. Because everyone's
And
like,
why
oh my
does it
god, I'm
matter?
trans, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, dude, are you a pedophile? Are you hurting people? No. Then shut the fuck up and just do what you want to do, man.
And I think people pressure other people to be like, well, what are you? Well, I'm me. And today I'm going to wake up and live my life as a good and honest person. And if that means I'm going to be in a relationship with a man today, fine. If it means I'm going to be in a relationship with a woman, that's also fine. If I'm going to be with a cross-dressing transsexual hermaphrodite, that's also fine. If that's the person I choose to be with, and they're a good person,
then fucking deal with it.
then that's it. Yeah, love is love. And you know what, even if it's not, if lust is lust, and you're two consenting adults, I think everyone needs to go over it.
Yeah, no.
And it's a shame that, like in our friend Charlie's case, I think it's a shame that people were so up in arms about the fact that, oh, you can't be with a man because you're lesbian.
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash that went on that. And that, again, I think that goes back to my original point. Is that, did you experience any of that when you sort of...
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep, definitely.
You should just tell some of these lesbians to shut the fuck up. Just listen, just shove a knuckle up there and then shut the fuck up.
It wasn't just lesbians.
Did you play it? Get into it.
Do you know what? It wasn't just lesbians.
Okay.
The backlash was from everybody.
Well, you're a good looking
everybody.
chick, man. So like, I think no, you are. You're a good looking chick. My girlfriend's listening to this.
I'm not that good looking.
Yeah, she's already stalked you on Facebook. Actually, I was telling her yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, because Kadie's gonna come around and she's gonna do a podcast again. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know all about her already. I was like, oh my god, you freak. And she was like, I'm just checking.
I'm flattered.
Yeah,
Thank you. No one else stalks me.
But no, you had like a lot of guys, and because I know a lot of guys. I still know a lot. I could even name down, like right now, I know a lot of guys who probably like drag their balls through broken glass to hear you fart through a radio. Like,
What?
yeah, for sure. I know some dudes who would tear that pussy up.
Oh
Straight
my god.
up to this day, I know people that was yeah, because you're a good looking chick, and you got like, I think this isn't.
Where are all these men? Because none of them have come forward.
They're out there. They're listening. They're listening. All 16 of them. all 16 of them right now are listening. No, because I would say, like, I've known you for a long time. You're a pretty down to earth, like, cool chick.
Thanks.
And you can just have a crack and a joke. You're very low maintenance.
Emotionally high maintenance.
Emotionally, yeah, but who isn't?
Yeah.
I think we all are in our own
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
I can come across as low maintenance, but if you ever talk to my girlfriend about what maintenance is like with me, it's like apparently it's like living with a teenager.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, because look,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pointing at all the like, see here, video games,
Yeah.
consoles everywhere. Yeah. So it's like living with a teenager. But then when it's time for me to step up and be serious, then I can be serious. But yeah, you got it. Like, you got like a pretty good pack. To the outside observer, you got a cool package. I think obviously if you can get to know you, then you get to know you as a person, because there's always that image. So when you look at somebody like, I don't know, fucking Cindy Crawford back in the 90s, you're like, she's amazing, she's beautiful, she's perfect. But you fucking talk to her and she's like, she's a fucking nutcase. So basically,
a nutcase.
Yeah, for sure.
I am a little bit of a nutcase.
Yeah. What's the crux? What's the craziness? Where's it come from?
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't think I'm a nutcase. I think I'm very aware of my emotions, and I'm very much a heart on my sleeve type of person. I'm not very good at putting a mask on. I'm not very good at, if I'm having a bad day or I'm feeling down, I'm not very good at being like chirpy and letting everyone think that I'm fine. I can tell you I'm fine, and I can be convincing enough that I'm fine, but not completely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just think, in a relationship I can be emotionally high maintenance. I can be quite needy, and I need a lot of reassurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the end of the world. We're all fucked up in our own little ways.
Yep.
Like, I'm fucked up. You're fucked up.
Yep.
Girlfriend's fucked up. We're all fucked up.
And I think, everyone, do you know what? I don't know if this is something that you wanted to talk about.
By the way,
not,
she was you were so nervous when you were about to do this. You were like, oh, I don't know what to do. Look at you now. You're like, you're on a fucking talk show. I'm fucking Conan O'Brien, and you're
I don't know if you want to talk about this. I'm gonna put
go for it. Go.
No,
Take it.
I'm just talking about sexuality and people being fucked up. It kind of ties into things like mental illness. And it's just, again, another thing that everyone... No, but I think everyone is so scared to be vulnerable.
Right.
Everyone's so scared to show other people a vulnerability in themselves. So look on Facebook. Everyone on Facebook is super happy 100% of the time, living the best possible life.
That's not true.
And it's not true. And it's not the reality. And like you say, people look at the outside and they see a persona or whatever, and they think, oh yeah, that person's lovely. They get to know them and they're like, oh, I had no idea about you, for whatever reason. And it's like, well, yeah, because whatever you see on social media is not all of me. I don't put all of myself out there. I am quite private. And I think it's a shame that more people don't talk about their vulnerability. Oh, that upset me, or I am a bit messed up today, or I'm having a down day. Or
there is such thing as TMI, like too much information.
Absolutely. And I think there's a time and a place and a platform for everything. And I don't think Facebook is one of those. I think definitely some people overshare, and they swiftly get unfollowed because they're just attention seeking.
I got unfollowed a lot recently. I just found out, a lot of my friends who will be listening to this, we found out in the week. Well, I knew they unfollowed me, but there was a time in the social media world where I was sharing untold amounts of twerking videos. Yes. On Facebook. Yes. Look at your face when I say that. You're like, yeah, I remember.
I remember my news feed. Yeah. We're like twerking butts, twerking butts, more butts.
And so I've changed that shit up now because my my girlfriend is also, her father is my friend on Facebook.
Wise.
So
that's wise.
He added me, and it was very much like, oh, what do I do? Shit, I have to accept.
Stop posting those videos.
Yeah,
and accept.
I actually went back and deleted.
Oh my god.
So I was like, oh, okay, before I accept his friendship, I'm going to go back, and I just deleted almost all of them. There is occasionally, I do slip the occasional one in there.
Why not?
Just as a throwback for everybody who gets annoyed. But a lot of people unfollowed me because of that shit.
I can understand why.
They were like,
Are they majority of them women?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's surprising.
Actually, the majority of them are men who were just like, come on, dude. You know why though? It was probably the influence of women.
Okay, yes.
Like, of their girlfriends who were like, why are these posting this shit? But I shit you not, I had guys, and you guys know who you are, I had guys who would like slide into my DMs, yeah, and
slide
send
right
me
in there.
messages and be like, dude, that video was awesome, where'd you find it? And because I frequent like I have a lot of like female tattoo artists and stuff, or just tattoo artists, or female models and stuff like that, just because of people I've met at conventions, and I'm on Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend gets really weirded out by that shit, because they'll add me or I add them or whatever, and we have a good little chat, like on a thread. And then I might say some shit that's a bit real, and they like it, and then hey, this cool dude's quite funny, or I met you on like fucking PlayStation Network or whatever, and then she gets all fucking weirded out by that shit. She's like,
She will.
and I'm like, well, do you think I'm gonna have sex with this tattoo artist who lives in fucking Albania?
I think it's this is where women are so different to men.
Yeah.
Men can have a conversation with somebody and be like, yeah, I'm just having a really nice conversation. Whereas a girl will think he's having a conversation with her because he's looking for something better than me.
It's exactly the conversation that we constantly have, and I'm like, no, because you know I love you very much and stuff like that. And I was like, if I wanted to, I could. You know, that's not me not being I'm not being pretentious, but if a guy wants to, yeah, for sure you can go out there and just do it. I wouldn't do that. That's not what I'm about.
It's not because she doesn't trust you.
She doesn't trust them. It's exactly the line.
She doesn't trust them, but it's not even that. She wants to be enough for you. And every girl wants to be enough for that guy that she's with. That's all she wants, is to be the be all and end all. But she wants you to make her feel like she is the be all.
Yeah, but a guy can't control what other people like. Okay, so say for example, me and you, right? We're friends. I've known you a really long time.
Over 15 years.
Yeah, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that.
Maybe even more, yeah.
Maybe because we were in like year 7 high school.
Yeah.
So year 7, year 8. So maybe even longer than that. So I've known you for a long time. So, say for example, because we've been talking a lot online, right, sorting this out and other stuff and you know all that shit. And then let's say for example, then because of the way the algorithm on Facebook works, it starts showing me a lot of your feed.
Okay.
Now let's say that in an alternate reality on Facebook, Kadie is a twerking queen.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it might be true.
Right.
And I just haven't put it on there.
Exactly, for sure. So let's say in this scenario, Kadie is a twerking queen.
Yeah.
And she twerks and puts these videos up, and in happenstance they end up coming up to my feed because of the way the algorithm works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who the fuck am I to control what you're posting? And that shit comes up. Then my girlfriend goes, "What the fuck is that shit?" Much like the I'm assuming the guys better halves. When I was posting all that shit on Facebook, and they were like, "For fuck's sake, would you stop? Get me into trouble."
There is only so much you can blame an algorithm, though. I think.
So does that mean I have to unfollow you then?
No, not at all. Not at all. If we were long-term friends and this is something I had as a career and everything else, okay, I don't think
twerking is a career.
Well, you know, apparently there's new like twerking teachers at gyms and stuff. I
still don't believe it. I think it's fuckery at work there.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if we've been long-term friends and this is something I've been doing, she might feel threatened, but it's okay. It's when it's a brand new person that you're excited about, that has got your attention, and she hasn't got your attention. It's the threat of they're going to take you away from her. And if there has to be a realm of reality
that evolves there, though, because it's like, do you really think that Nikola Shevchenko, the fucking MMA fighter with the 6-pack abs who fights in the UFC, is going to take me away from my girlfriend? No.
You never know.
But she's not.
But you don't know.
She's some Russian chick who lives in Peru and fights out of Peru and lives in the UFC.
Yeah, but
she's not going to steal me away from my girlfriend in England.
That's not what girls think. And again, this is not a blanket statement for every single girl. This is just my opinion based around my own insecurities.
There are some chicks out there who are chill.
Yeah, some girls who are just like, whatever, his loss. Okay, I've never been one of those kind of people, and I really, really wish I was.
Neither is my girlfriend.
Yeah, I can totally relate. I think it's when it's a brand new person, it's a threat, and it's kind of like, why have they got your attention more than I have? You know, we're in a relationship, we've been together however long, and this brand new person has come along and taken your attention, and while they're new and shiny and exciting, are you going to get caught up and do something that you later regret, that will break our trust. And,
Yeah.
And I think it's also the content of the conversation.
I probably half these people that I become friends with on Facebook don't ever talk to outside of a public thread on a group.
But I think also the twerking thing.
But I stopped that. I stopped that. That's done.
Okay, so that will help her. But going back to the twerking thing and girlfriends saying to their boyfriends or husbands or what have you, why are you looking at all of this? Do you know what? It's very similar to how some women might feel about guys watching porn. It's an insecurity of you're getting your kicks for someone that isn't me, and I want to be enough to please you. I want to know that I'm sexy.
Sometimes your girlfriend doesn't want to get like fucking ball gagged in the face whilst
sometimes she doesn't.
You're busting a nut in her fucking eyelid or some shit, you know.
Sometimes
there are some girls out there that will feed that need for me.
Sometimes she just wants a night off. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's an understanding that you have to have in every relationship.
Yeah.
That's individual to every relationship.
It's like, baby, I love you. Cook the shepherd's pie, but sometimes I'm gonna have gangbang cream pie porn.
Absolutely.
Watch that shit.
And if your relationship can handle that, and there's enough but if there's enough understanding and communication, you'll be, and that's your relationship, that's fine. That works for you two. That's wicked.
You know what you need? You need to find, like, this is for all guys as well. You need to find girls who are into all that filthy shit. On top of having that bum ass pussy. I'm talking that pussy that's like a Romanian chick wringing out a wet towel. just squeezing it.
How have we got onto this?
That's what you want. We can have this conversation. We know each other for a long time. It's cool.
This is so funny.
It's alright. See,
I hope you guys are all having as much fun as we are.
Yeah, no, it's good. We're not doing anything naughty, Louise.
No,
I promise.
We're not.
In case he's listening.
But I mean, on the surface, you know, just as a basic level of being insecure, every girl wants to know she's 100% desired by whoever her partner is, male, female, whoever. And she wants to know that she's enough for them. And I think when someone's feeling insecure and they're not voicing that insecurity, the other person doesn't know that they're... I don't think anyone's ever intentionally doing something to hurt somebody else's feelings.
Yeah.
But people are too scared to say, I'm feeling vulnerable and I'm feeling insecure, and that hurts my feelings because it makes me feel like I'm not sexy enough.
No, my chick.
Oh, good. Yeah, get it out there.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Go on.
Okay, so on this exact place where we're sitting at the moment, right?
Oh, God.
I think hours before, like maybe an hour before this issue came up, like this incident occurred, I was telling my cousin, I was telling my girlfriend about my cousin who lives in France. We used to go visit her when I was a kid. She used to come over here, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Cousin, right? Anyway. So my cousin's grown up to be quite a good looking lady. Okay. Right? She looks nothing like me. Cause that's why she's my cousin. She's a good looking chick, right? Very nice body. She's really smart. She's a journalist or something like that in France. So we were talking through the uncle at my son's christening. She added me on Facebook. I accepted, but I completely forgot to accept because it was still sitting in my accept folder bit, and I'd gotten a notification from somebody else. So I was sitting here and I accepted the friend request, and obviously my activity comes up on my girlfriend's feed, so her immediate response was, "Nice friend you've just made there." And I sort of looked at her and went, "What?" And she was like, "Nice friend you've just made." And I went, "Who are you talking about?" She pulled the picture up. She went, "Her?" Like, in a real, like, fucking bitchy, shaking her neck like a black girl from the ghetto attitude. She's like, "This girl?"
Every girl's
and I went,
neck.
"Yeah." And I was like, "You mean my cousin?" I was like, "The one I was telling you about like an hour ago." She was like, "How that?" And then I was like, hold on. And then I went into the messages and I see they're all in Spanish. She's like, prima means cousin in Spanish. And she was like, oh, she was like, "I'm really sorry, I'm broken." And I was like, "It's okay, don't worry about it." I was like, "You just need to calm the fuck down." I was like, "It's just my cousin, chill." But yeah, that was a completely unrelated. She's obviously related, but like, obviously I'm not doing anything with my cousin because I'm not weird, but or a Lannister. So she just straight jumped on that fucking crucify train.
Because that's probably how attractive your cousin is. and not connecting the names.
I'm not going to mention her name so guys don't fucking try to slide in her DMs and shit. Yeah,
absolutely.
Fucking bullshit.
But yeah, it's insecurity.
We need to go get some more Colombian food.
That was a really lovely restaurant.
Fuck that place. I know a new place.
Okay, we'll go to a new
It's called
place.
Donde Carlos and it's in West London.
Okay,
This fucking place is awesome.
We're gonna have to go.
We go there and I tell you what, it's like well cheaper, well easier to get to.
Okay.
Right. And I went there with Louise, my girlfriend. Actually, when the first time I went there was with a friend of mine. And they do this thing called a bandeja. A bandeja in a bandeja paisa. All right. It's a see this like mat here? It's about that big, filled with food. It's huge. Like it's like £12. It's fucking amazing. Yeah.
Stop telling people about it because they're going to go and eat all the food.
I totally recommend anybody goes. It's a Colombian restaurant called Donde Carlos. But anyway, yeah, the plates are fucking huge and it's really, really good food. And I went there and I forgot how great Colombian food is. Now they fucking know me there. Like, well, of course. Because it's only by Westfields. Oh. So it's really easy to get to. Like, it's straight down the A41. Yeah, A41. A40. Yeah, straight down the A40. Just go straight until you get to Westfield, come off the exit. And
stop listening to him.
It's around the corner.
You don't know where it is.
Yeah. Just Google
Keep
it,
the
man.
food in plentiful
Goldsmiths Road or something like that. Hey, it's fucking good food. And we should go, man. Because we went to that Colombian place in Elephant and Castle once. Yeah. It's just a fucking mission to go there.
That was a mission. It was nice food though.
Yeah, mission though. It was rainy. Do you remember? It was a fucking horrible night. Yeah, it was piss take. We should go there and get some Colombian food and get fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, cool.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. Do you drink? Do you still drink at the moment? Do you drink a lot?
Just socially.
Okay.
I'm a social drinker.
Do you go out a lot? I don't see you out. Well, I don't really go out, but
I'm getting old now, Leo.
Yeah, I think we're all getting old. I can't do that fucking shit. You know, I tried to stay up late for like fights and stuff, like on UFC.
You like set an alarm and get back up.
I do that. That's what I do. I go to bed. I
need a nap.
I was talking to I napped before you got here. I was talking.
I really want one.
I was talking to. So I think when I was about 21, a friend of mine, Mark, he was telling me. He said, "Dude, just wait till you just past 25. When you hit 25, things are just gonna start hurting for no reason.
Yes.
It's gonna start hurting, and you're gonna feel so tired."
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I completely agree, and I'm starting to feel like I said, I've done my job now 8 years, and being in a kennel, like on my hands and knees cleaning it out, I have to get someone to help me off the floor because I'm at that point. I'm like, I can't do it. Knees are gone, back are gone. I'm knackered.
Oh, fuck that. I can't do that shit no more. I try to, even like jiu-jitsu, so I can do like from standing, I can do like a little jog and I can do a front roll and then go back to standing. Yeah, it's just a little bit harder these days. And I've been doing it for years. But now I'm like, I do it and I can feel my neck cracks a little bit when I do it. I'm like, oh god, I'm getting a bit old now. I can't do that shit. I'm fucking 29. 29? Am I 29? Fuck, I think I'm 29.
We're getting close to 30 every day.
I actually think, yeah, I am 29. How old are you?
27.
27? Maybe I'm only 28. I don't remember. I really don't remember.
You're adding years on.
Huh?
You're adding years on.
I genuinely think I'm 29, but I'm not too sure.
When were you born?
88.
So you're 28.
Huh?
28.
June 18th, 28.
Yeah.
Am I 28?
You're 28.
Oh shit.
I'm
okay.
89. So yeah.
Oh. Fuck! Man, that's really bad. It's super embarrassing. I just forgot my age. That's how you know I'm getting old.
That's how you know you're getting old. Yeah.
I don't even know fucking how old I
am. Yeah.
No, but but even 28 years old, man. Yeah, that's fucking still, you know, that's nothing. That's like a drop in the water of time.
Yep.
Oh, fucking hell. All right, I'm going to get the fuck out of here now because you got shit to do. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, shit, it's 3. It's 3. I got to take my car somewhere to get looked at. But all right, thank you.
I need a nap.
Yeah, that's it. Kadie, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it. It's a very, very good time.
I hope I've actually made some sense.
No, it's good chat. It's good to just shoot the shit. Yeah. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, KTD89.
Yeah.
For veterinary related stuff, I'm at MediVet in Kenton.
Okay.
And I'm on Facebook. I'm friend of Leo's, Kadie Dowen.
Yeah, she likes the page. Make sure you like the page.
Yeah, make sure you like the page. Like.
Yeah, and you'll find me on Twitter and Instagram and all that other shit, and that's it. Cool, man. But definitely go get some Colombian food, and we'll get drunk and fucking headbutt some goddamn kangaroos. Good stuff.
Leave the kangaroos alone, Leo.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Who knows? All right, thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Hey, this is Leo here from What's the Damage Podcast. If you liked this week's episode, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and do all that fucking shit. And hopefully we can get this worldwide. Thanks a lot. Peace.